How does cow's milk turn into yogurt in a factory? You won't be able to take your eyes off it while watching this. In the first step, fresh milk is poured into huge tanks and goes through quality control here. The purest and freshest milk is selected with delicate filtering systems. Then, fully automatic machines come into play. These machines create the perfect environment for yogurt by heating the milk to the right temperature. After the fermentation process is complete, the yogurt is cooled and filled into containers. In the final step, each container is carefully sealed and packaged, and they are on their way to the shelves. Fresh olives are meticulously collected and transported to the factory in giant silos. The first stage begins with washing the olives and separating them from their leaves. Automatic cleaning machines polish the olives and make them ready for processing. Then, press machines come into play and valuable olive oil is extracted from the olives. With high-tech filtering systems, pure olive oil is smoothly separated. Filling machines quickly fill this golden liquid into bottles, and each bottle is specially sealed. All these stages of the factory are carried out with incredible speed and precision, and the natural flavor reaches your tables. Witness the incredible transformation of cheese in the factory. When fresh milk reaches the factory, it is transferred to giant vats where it goes through a meticulous pasteurization process. Automatic machines start the coagulation process by adding yeast and enzymes to the milk. At this stage, the milk begins to turn into cheese and is cut into large pieces. Pressing machines squeeze these curds to separate the excess liquid. Then, the cheese is placed in molds and transported to the ripening rooms. Finally, slicing and packaging machines come into play. Have you ever wondered how peanuts are transformed into peanut butter in a factory with an incredible transformation? Fresh peanuts brought to the factory are first separated from their shells and carefully roasted in high-speed rotating machines. Then, the roasted peanuts are turned into puree in giant grinders. At this stage, fully automatic machines ensure that the peanut butter is smooth or crunchy. This whole process takes place in perfect harmony with technology. Are you ready to learn how Nutella is produced in a factory? Each jar of Nutella goes through a process that starts in huge factories. In the first step, carefully selected hazelnuts come to the factory and are roasted perfectly in high-tech roasting machines. Then, these hazelnuts are finely ground into a smooth cream. Ingredients such as sugar, cocoa, and vanilla are added by delicate mixers to create that unique Nutella flavor. Have you ever wondered how tomatoes are turned into a wonderful paste in a factory? Fresh and ripe tomatoes collected from the fields are transported to the factory in giant trucks. Here, in the first stage, the tomatoes are washed and separated from their leaves and stems. Then, they are crushed with powerful machines, and their juice and pulp are separated. In this stage, the pureed tomatoes are boiled for hours in giant cauldrons, and the water is evaporated until they reach a thick consistency. The mixture, which is constantly mixed with automatic systems, reaches its ideal consistency without burning. Are you ready for the incredible transformation of corn flakes in the factory? In the first step, carefully selected grains are stored in giant silos and prepared for production. The grains are ground into flour in large mills. Then this mixture is turned into a special dough in fully automatic machines. Then, this dough is carefully shaped and baked in ovens. Here is the most fun moment. The cereals coming out of the oven are thrown into giant drums and roasted until golden. With the addition of sugar or chocolate coatings, the cornflakes are transformed into a real flavor bomb. Packaging machines are activated and each package is quickly sealed to preserve freshness. Are you ready to take a look at the fascinating process of wine production? It all starts with the carefully collected grapes. The grapes are taken to giant press machines, squeezed, and their juices are extracted. This grape juice is transferred to fermentation tanks and the magical transformation begins. Yeast is added and the grape juice turns into alcoholic wine through a fermentation process that lasts for weeks. The wine is then left to rest in special steel or oak barrels. This stage gives the wine its character and depth. Once the resting period is complete, the filling machines are activated and the wine is filled into bottles and carefully sealed. In the first step, fresh yogurt is prepared in large cauldrons and carefully filtered. Then, yogurt is combined with water and salt in certain proportions in giant mixing machines. Thanks to high-speed mixers, the smooth consistency of the Ayran is achieved. During this time, the Ayran foams with air bubbles, providing that perfect refreshment. After the mixture is prepared, the filling machines come into play. Each bottle is filled and capped with millimetric precision. Thus, the Ayran comes to your tables with its perfect consistency and freshness. Fresh peas collected from the fields are quickly delivered to the factory and meticulously cleaned in giant washing machines. Then, these green beauties pass through delicate cutting machines in minutes and are sorted into equal sizes. The next stage is shock freezing. The peas are taken to shock freezers that go down to -40 degrees to preserve their freshness and nutritional value at the maximum level. Frozen peas are quickly packaged in filling machines and immediately shipped to cold storage. Thanks to factory technology, peas reach your tables fresh and healthy. These meats are mixed with special marinade sauces and marinated in giant containers to absorb their flavors. Then, the famous layers of doner are created. The meat slices are expertly arranged on giant skewers, and these skewers are placed in an orderly manner by automatic machines. The legendary cooking process of doner begins. Doner skewers, which slowly rotate in special ovens, reach the perfect browning and cooking point. The cooked doner is portioned and packaged in fast-cutting machines. In the final step, it is made ready for distribution. Doner produced in a modern factory guarantees the same flavor every time. First, giant mixing tanks combine the basic ingredients: egg yolks, oil, vinegar, and lemon juice. These ingredients are brought together in giant high-speed mixers in seconds to a perfect consistency. This process, called emulsification, mixes the oil evenly into the liquid ingredients, creating a creamy, smooth texture. The mayonnaise mixture is then transferred to the filling machines. Each jar is meticulously filled and capped. In the final stage, the packaging line comes into play and each jar is sealed and ready for distribution. First, oats, nuts, and seeds are added to giant mixing machines. This dry mix is combined with binding agents such as honey and syrup, and giant mixers bring this mixture to the perfect consistency. Then, this mixture is poured into large baking trays, pressed and baked to perfection in giant ovens. The granola that comes out of the oven is put through cooling tunnels to harden and take shape. In the final stage, cutting machines come into play and each bar is cut into equal pieces. Fresh vegetables and meats are carefully washed and chopped when they arrive at the factory. Each ingredient is added to giant mixing tanks, where it is combined with soup broth prepared according to special recipes. These tanks are constantly stirred to achieve the ideal flavor and consistency of the soup. Then, fully automatic filling machines come into play, and the hot soup is quickly filled into sterilized cans. Each can is vacuum sealed and heated in giant ovens for pasteurization. This preserves the freshness and nutritional value of the soup. In the final step, labeling and packaging machines prepare each can perfectly.